Hi everybody! Today I've got a little bedtime story for you. And this one's to do with the Chinese bamboo tree. Now, the Chinese bamboo tree is a very special tree. It's very different from most trees. And that's what this story is about. There once was a farmer who wanted to have a bit more in life. He used to sow the seeds of his crops, and I don't know, they used to get damaged by insects, by the weather. And then one day he heard about the Chinese bamboo tree, and that if you grew some of these trees, you could earn enough money through their properties to pay off all his debts. So he got some seeds and he planted them in the ground. And he watered them. He made sure that the sun came down on it, and he weeded them to make sure that no weeds grew. And he did this very religiously for 6 months. Do you know what happened during that time?
Oh, I don't.
What happened was nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he thought a little bit, and he said, I would have seen a little shoot or something grow, but I'm going to stick at it because I've got stickability. So he carried on for another 6 months. And at the end of the year, do you know what happened?
No.
No, that's my cameraman. Nothing happened. And he thought, whoa, I heard that I need to give it a lot of love and attention to help it grow, but nothing's happened yet. But I will stick at it. I will stay focused and keep giving it some water, making sure the sun was on his land for the bamboo seeds, and of course made sure the land wasn't filled with weeds. Well, so he did that for year one. And do you know what happened after year one?
No.
Nothing, absolutely nothing happened. So he was kind of disappointed, but he carried on, as I said, and went through year two. And now this was the important thing, because when he looked at the land after year two, what do you think he saw?
I don't know.
He saw absolutely nothing. And in fact, some of his friends were saying, you're wasting all this land. You could have had some crops by now. You could have grown some rice or potatoes or something and had some money by now. Well, he thought about it, but he heard about this great bamboo tree and how fantastic all the properties are with on this tree is, and how much he could pay off all his debts for himself and his family. So he thought, all right, I'm going to stick with it. Year two, right? So he carried on tending, putting the water on, sunshine came, weeding, and that was year two, and nothing happened. And he did it again for year three, and boom! What do you think he saw?
I don't know.
Nothing. He saw nothing. By this time he was kind of almost like the laughing stock in the village. People laughing at him, saying, "Come on, maybe you should dig it up." Some of his friends said, "Maybe dig up the ground and see what's going on underneath. Maybe some earthworm has eaten the seeds or something." Anyway, I don't know if you know this, but if you dig up plants that are growing, it would actually ruin them. It's a bit like starting something in the middle and then digging it up, and then you'll have to start all over again. So he carried on for that third year, and at the end of the fourth year, finally, guess what he saw?
He saw something?
No, he didn't. And he was getting really depressed, like, oh my goodness, I've wasted my time. Why have I been doing this? But he called a few friends who'd had grown some of this fantastic bamboo before, and they said, "Listen, man, you've got to stick with it. You can't just give up. Just stick with it. I promise you it will happen. The bamboo will grow and you will make a lot of money, but you can't just give up now." So, he listened to his friends who had done this before, people with real education in this era, and he continued. And after 4 years and 6 months, guess what he saw?
Saw something?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
He didn't, actually. But he carried on anyway, because, his friends who were mentoring him, and they just said, stay with it, promise you, come on, we'll help you out during your lean times. So he did, and at the end of the 4th year, going into his 5th year, finally, what do you think he saw?
Saw something.
No, he didn't actually. Nothing happened. But 2 weeks later, he saw some tiny shoots growing in the ground, and a week later, those tiny shoots had grown this high. And within 6 weeks, they had grown 80 feet high. You could watch the bamboo trees, these Chinese bamboo trees, growing. So, that's the story. Obviously, the part of the end of that story is his family were able to cultivate these bamboo trees and make a lot of money to pay off debts and pay for a whole bunch of education and things. It's not the total end of the story, but that's something for another day. Now, what I want to teach from this story are a whole bunch of great concepts. Perseverance. Sometimes you're going to get the knocks. They're going to knock you down. He had to go through times where he didn't have any money, really, because he could have used that land for a different crop. But he stuck with it. He had a belief. You must have a belief and faith. So that's the second thing. Have faith in what you're doing. Follow that passion. Believe in yourself. The third thing he had was, he continued with this habit. Some people, they want to lose weight, for example, and they go on a diet, and it doesn't work after 2 or 3 months. So they give up. Or they lose weight and they don't continue growing with that habit. So it doesn't get locked in. It's a bit like if he dug up the seeds in the middle, yes, of that growing, then these bamboo trees would never have grown. He would have started his 5 years all over again. And the fourth thing he had was patience. People want finance so quickly. They get scammed so easily, these guys. I can double your money in 3 weeks. Rather than investing with people they know and love, fantastic, and who they've seen grow great income. The fifth thing that he did was he surrounded himself with friends who'd done it. Because if he'd listened to his other friends, he'd have given up. He'd have gone back to what he was comfortable with. So he had some friends who'd done it before, he phoned them up, and he got, if you like, some kind of mentoring and coaching. Guys, just stick with it, yes? So those are really some great things. If you can do this in your passion, anything you want to do in life, I promise you, you will get to that point where success goes boom! Anyway, that's it for now. My bamboo tree story. Well, these aren't really bamboo trees, but do Google it. Google the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. I think you'll love the way they tell the story. So, bye!